Today's video is about the apps that you need to run an electric car. So when I say run an electric car, I'm talking more apps that you need to charge your car on motorway networks, local council networks, etc. Because you'll need certain apps to access the charge stations. You can't just go to a charge station, plug your car in and start charging your car by using a coin meter or tapping your card on. Why you can't just tap a contactless card on a charge point and charge your car straight away? No idea. They want to make charging and the charging network as complicated as possible, so they have each company has created their own app that you have to download and you have to use on the charge network. So this is a list of some of the apps you need. Also, I'm going to do a list of some of the apps that you can download for your Zoe, so personalised Zoe apps. So this video applies to everyone who has an electric car, who's thinking of buying an electric car, and this is what apps you need. And then at the end there'll be a video of the few little apps that you need if you've got a Renault Zoe. So app number one is EcoTricity, probably the most heard of and most seen app or company that you'll hear in the electric car industry is EcoTricity. They're very, very great company who've put massive infrastructure all around the country, with partnership with Nissan, which is why it always says Nissan on the machine, but Nissan have helped develop with them, and there's charge points pretty much at most service stations throughout the country from EcoTricity, and they have really good charge points. They're very high kilowatt output. They charge £3 connection charge and 17p per kilowatt hour for charging. So if you plug your car in, it's a £3 connection charge if you charge for 45 minutes, or if you charge for 10 minutes. It's maxed at 45 minutes. The idea with this is it doesn't clog the charger up. People aren't sat there all day charging the car, for pointless things. The idea is to give you a quick boost of power and go. The Zoe 22 kilowatt battery will fully charge in about that time, and that's if you have got the quick charge. There's another video about motors and quick charging down here which you can find, and that'll tell you which motor you've got in the Zoe. But if you've got a Leaf, or you've got some of the Teslas will charge at higher rates, but not all of them. The Zoe will, if it's got the quick charge, that can charge the full 43 kilowatt charge point in about half an hour. If you've got the small 22 kilowatt battery, if you've got the larger battery, it will obviously change the time. But it's enough to give most people, as they say, an 80% charge, which is get you to a destination, get you moving again. You have to download the EcoTricity app. There's a Android and Apple iPhone version available. EcoTricity are quite clever. If you've got no mobile signal, when you get to the charge point, the charge point has a local Wi-Fi network. So you just go into settings, go to Wi-Fi, and the EcoTricity station will have electric highway on whichever service station you're at. You tap that, it'll then ask you for a password, and the password is EcoTricity. Nice and simple, but a lot of people never figure out what it is. Why on earth they leave a password on it, I don't know. Maybe by the time, in a few years they'll take the password off, but last time I looked there was a password on the local Wi-Fi network. But it's great if you've got no signal, which in certain IKEAs where they're underground or in multi-storey car parks you can't get any signal in the middle, so the local Wi-Fi network is great, makes the app work. Two things I forgot to mention about EcoTricity. If you're an EcoTricity energy customer, so they actually have gas, electricity, green energy obviously, they waive the connection charge, which is the £3 connection charge is waived if you're an EcoTricity customer. And if you charge at IKEA and you make a purchase in IKEA on the same day, they'll deduct £6 off your shopping at IKEA, but not in the food store. You need to check IKEA's details for more details on that, because it's a promotion that they've been running for quite some time. So basically, if you charge your car at an IKEA store and buy something from IKEA, they'll knock £6 off the shopping. App number two is PodPoint. That's POD Point. They're mainly free. Most of them are free. Most of the ones I can find are free. They tend to be lower kilowatt chargers, 22 kilowatt chargers, kind of that kind of range. They tend to be in retail parks, supermarkets, Marks and Spencers, Lidl's, stuff like that. The idea is you can charge your car while you go for a shop. So good idea. Nice incentive for the supermarket to get electric car drivers to come because they get a free charge, and good incentive for sort of like making EVs sort of take off. So yeah, PodPoint mainly free. There is a few that charge a bit, but mainly most of the ones you'll find are free, and it's kind of just nice little top up sort of electricity So they're quite good ones to look out for. The next one is CYC, which is Charge Your Car. CYC. Again, most of these are free, dotted around all over the place. Their range is sort of top-up sort of charge, but again, obviously nothing rapid because most of the network is free. There is some charge ones. The app's quite a useful app, quite a good app, so download that one. That's CYC, Charge Your Car. Just to mention, by the way, all the links in the description will be to the websites, and the websites for these companies have all the links for their associated apps for Android and obviously for Apple. And number 4 is Polar Instant. Polar Instant is instant charging. You don't have to sign up or anything like that. You just download the app, and Polar Instant will just charge you a £1.20 administration connection fee, and some places just charge that. That's it. There's just the administration fee. There's no kilowatt charge. But on some Polar Instants, there is a kilowatt charge as well. So when you check on the app, it will tell you which is which, and then you know when it charges at the end of your charge session, which is good. Also off Polar is Polar Plus. Polar Plus is their thing they really push. Now you can have a Polar Plus app and a Polar Plus card. Now, annoyingly, Polar Plus haven't updated all their systems that take cards, so they take the app and card. So if you want full access to the Polar network, you're going to have to get a Polar Plus card, which means you're going to have to sign up to their monthly membership. Now, their monthly membership is, got it written down on my notes, £7.85 a month, but that gives you unlimited charging. From the way I read it on Polar's website, £7.85 gives you unlimited charging, and you need to sign up for the card separately, I believe. If you sign up for the app, you'll just get the app. If you sign up, you need to sign up for the card on the website, where you get the card, and then also you can use the app at the same time. So that's Polar Plus. Polar Plus is the premium one. Polar Instant is the free one, but some Polar some Polar charging stations only take like a tap NFC card. So if it's not been upgraded to accept the app, you won't be able to use it, which is really annoying and really stupid. Like the whole app thing, why isn't there not just one central app? Which there will be soon. The UK government have announced that they're going to put it into legislation that all charge companies have to have one centralised app for everyone to use. So in other words, there will be one app so you can use all the charge stations. What's more than likely going to happen is EcoTricity, PlugShare, PodPoint, etc. All these companies will basically allow you to use other networks with their app. That's more than likely what's going to happen. They're not going to. No one's going to centralise one app. They're just all still going to have their own app. You're just going to basically use the other charge networks from the app that you're in. So you only have to download one app, which will make life a lot easier. So the next apps aren't charging sort of apps that you use to access a charging point. All the ones mentioned, you need to use the charge points. These are charging maps, so they are locations of all the chargers, so you don't have to keep signing into all the individual annoying little apps to find out if there's a charge station near you, because you don't care what company it's with, you just need a charge point. So the first one is PlugShare. PlugShare is a list of loads of free and charge maps and all sorts. You can filter it out by type of charger, cost, network, rapid charge, kilowatts. You've got a whole map there. So PlugShare is a really good system. There'll be more on PlugShare and stuff like that later on in this video for just Renault people. So if you join the Renault Zoe Owners Club, which I'm a member of, it's a really good club to be part of. There's a secret map for them, but I'll get into that in a second. Another great one is ZapMap. Z-A-P map. ZapMap's probably the most heard of sort of charge location map, but there's a ZapMap app and you can also find it on the computer as well, but it's a good one to download. Another great map is Chargy.net. It's not massive and it's not great, but some people like it. I quite like the idea of it. You get to put your own charger on it, set a charge rate, what you want to charge for someone to plug into your thing, and they handle all the administration of it. So it's a good idea. I like it. You will encourage more sort of home users who don't want to give away free electricity to use the service because they get paid to put their system on it. But it's not massive and it's not, you know, it's not very complete, but it's another useful resource of maps, and another useful resource if you've got a charger and you don't want to lend out your electricity to free to other EV users. So you go on there, you register, but annoyingly there's no app for it. It's basically you have to use it on your you can obviously get the map on your phone. It works on your phone, but it's not as intuitive as a normal app, and it's not brilliant. It needs to be redesigned as an app, and it would be a great service. But it's okay. It's good. It's another resource to have. Credit where's credit's due. This is probably one of the best things I'm going to tell you about. One of the best apps that's not widely used and not widely known. And the reason I know it's not widely used and widely known, because I thought of this idea and I thought, I'm going to make an app that does this. I'm going to commission someone to make an app. Before I started getting involved, I thought I'd make a few videos about apps that exist, ask people on the forum what apps they use and what apps they thought were good, and someone suggested this app. I looked it up and it was the app that I thought I'd make because I thought it'd be a brilliant idea for an app. Someone's already done it. I didn't know about it, so now I'm telling you about it, and I think you should all download it, especially if you drive an EV and charge at sort of charging points all over the country. Get it. It's called Charge Bump. Clues in the name. You bump someone off a charger if you need it. It doesn't actually have control over the charging points. It's basically more of a social thing. So you download it, you put your reg in, you put your details in, and it gives you a push alert if you're basically on a charger and someone else comes and they've got 0%, 2%, 5%. They are desperate for a charger. They need to get home. They bump you off the charger. They just put your reg in on the app and they say, look, I need this charger. Can you bump off it so I can go on it? It's great. I think it's a brilliant idea. It's really what all the current charging network apps should have in it. Some sort of form to push to a user, look, I really need this charger. If you don't need this charge to get home, please can you unplug your car so I can plug in? Obviously this is more of a problem with type 2 chargers because they lock. So Renault Zoe is obviously locked with their type 2. So if someone's using an EcoTricity charger, which is a tethered cable, they've got their car locked in and their car's now at 100%, it's fully charged, no one can unplug that without the Renault Zoe owner's key. So this app will allow you to inform, your car's at 100%, your car's at 90%, please can you unplug it so I can charge my car? I'm here now. It'd be a really good idea with people obviously in IKEA, if they're in IKEA and they've finished their 45-minute charge session, and they've not gone outside because they just assume that no one's going to need the charger after them. And obviously someone might be there waiting for that charger for you to come out of IKEA. You might be there for another hour. So this is a great little app. Just why I mentioned IKEA, by the way, I've just found out today, I'm going to Sheffield IKEA, and it must be one of the only EcoTricity chargers in the country that still needs a card. So before I've said EcoTricity, you need the app. You also can have a free RFID card. You can get that from EcoTricity's website. I suggest you get it because I thought they've all been upgraded now, but no, they haven't. There's still quite a few out there which still use the card, and the card is free, and it's also free to use the chargers which use the card. So get the card on EcoTricity's website. That's a great idea. Another notable app is the CanZe app. CanZe is an app made by people who have a Renault Zoe. It's a diagnostic sort of tool that you can use on your Android phone and Apple phones. You need to buy a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi dongle that works with the CanZe system. So basically you put it in your car, you pair it up with your phone or Android device or whatever, and then that'll talk to the diagnostic port. Basically it's an OB2 reader. OB2 just means onboard diagnostic system. It's a system that we use in the car trade all the time for diagnosing airbag faults and stuff like that. But the CanZe app is brilliant if you want to check your SOH, which stands for state of health of the battery. It allows a few things. You can tell if your car needs a BMS update, if your battery's almost knackered, various little things in it, and diagnostic little bits of information. It's a useful app. I currently don't have an OBD2 port that works with my iPhone because there's not many that work with the Apple iPhone. If you've got an Android phone, go to the CanZe website, only buy the one that they suggest buying because other ones do not work. But if you are thinking of getting one and you are thinking of using it, ask on the forum for people who've already got one. People will help you out on there. Or go, basically do your research on the CanZe website. Don't just buy an OB2 reader and think it's going to work. It probably won't. It could do, but it probably won't. So read on there. But it's a useful app. It's a good little app. And a lot of people rave about it and using it, but I've not currently got one. When I do get one, I'll do a video on one of them as well, but they are meant to be very good. Another notable app is the ZE Services app. The ZE Services app is Renault's own app for the Renault Zoe and ZE cars. The ZE Service app is an app that you go onto, and it will give you a couple of options. It allows you to check the charge of your battery, which is useful if you can't be bothered going outside in the rain to see how much battery you've got for your journey the next day. You can go into the app, it'll tell you exactly in percentage how many miles you've got left on your battery. The other thing it's useful for is delaying charge rates. So if you want to delay a charge rate, so you've got economy 7 or economy 10 tariff, you can set the charging to only come on after 12 o'clock and then finish whenever your charge rate finishes for you. Obviously everyone's economy 7 is different. Then the third thing you can use it for is setting the aircon on and off. So you can set preheats and pre-charges. If you know you're always going to go to work at a certain time and you're always going to finish work at a certain time, you can have the car pre-cool itself or preheat itself in the winter, so it's always ready for you to get into straight away. You can also just go onto the app and turn the heating on and aircon on whenever you want. I mean, obviously you can do it on the key on the little heat button, but you can also do it on the app. So it's a useful little app. If you've got a Renault Zoe, you might as well have it. If you're new to a Renault Zoe, you're going to have to get an activation code. This can be gotten from customer service by ringing customer service, giving you VIN number, and they can get you one of them. The other thing, you occasionally notice on your ZER link, it'll come up with renewing subscription. If you take your R-Link card out occasionally and plug it into your laptop, there's occasionally free updates on there. But also, if you don't update it, it'll just roll over anyway, so don't worry about it. As promised, a free charging network for Renault Zoe Owners Club. Now, this is a completely hidden map. It's not easy to find, and if you want to know where the map is, I've done that annoying little thing where I've waited till the end of the video. You've all waited to find out where the free charge network is, and instead of giving you a link in the description where it is, because some of you might have already looked for that, it's not there. If you want the free charge network for the Renault Zoe Owners Club, you're going to have to join the club. It's not fair to give it away and not let you join the club. You need to join the club. It's a free club. It doesn't cost you anything to join. It's a completely and utterly free club. It's a brilliant club to be a part of. There's people in there answer questions when you have questions or anything that you're not sure about. It's a real welcoming community. Join it. The other thing is they come up with updates, like they found out about the BMS update before anyone else. There's a video about that on Craig Tonge's channel, who's the runner of the club over there on RZOC. I'll also be doing a video on my channel about it as soon as I've done a before and after video of what my control panel looks like on my Zoe and what the difference the BMS update makes. But at the moment there is a video on Craig's channel all about that. And also, if you go to the RZOC forum, there's plenty of information about it there. But if you join the Renault Zoe Owners Club on Facebook, there's a free charge network there of maps. And if you don't like Facebook and you don't have Facebook, they have a forum, web-based forum, old-fashioned web-based forum, and that's also got a link to where the charge map is. So come and join RZOC. It's a great network to be part of. Thanks everyone this week for watching my video. If you've enjoyed my video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe at the bottom of the channel. And I'll see you again next week for my next little tip video, BMS update. It could be anything. But if you have any suggestions for what you might want in the video, don't forget, comment below. I'm always answering questions and comments below, and I'm always trying to here to help anyone new in the Renault or EV world. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next week.